Okay. I'm back to finish what I started earlier, as promised. And this is, wow. Way weirder than I thought it was going to be, okay? Jan, the mother of Laura Owens, tried to have a secret meeting with investigators where she tried to blame things on Diddy. She tried to blame Laura's situation on Diddy. I can't make this shit up. And apparently there's like a crazy interview with Greg as well. So I haven't seen that yet. I only got to scam is probably the right word with this family, but scan through Jan's and what is happening? Okay, so this probably won't be a super long stream because I got to join my friend Colonel Kurtz at 7:30, and then I have to take a nap, and I'll be back with Omar at midnight, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Lively case. Such a busy day, and I have a 1-year-old's birthday party tomorrow, so yikes. Give me 1 sec to pull this up. All right, so this entire thing with Jan, I'll probably read through that, and then if I can find the one with Greg, we'll read that, and then we'll leave it at that for today. But how about this? Goose is hiding under a rock, hoping the bar guy doesn't find him. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what happened here. How about that? So Detective Gonzalez and I met with Jan Owens at this location. The location is a rental home owned by Owens, used as an Airbnb. We met at this location at the request of Black Owens, as she did not want Laura Owens to know about the meeting, which is ridiculous because we know that Laura Owens knew about the meeting. Like, it's ridiculous. The contact began approximately 09:55 hours, was recorded. The following is a summary. I wish I could see that recording, but all right. Jan invited us in and identified herself to us. We sat at the dining room table. She told us that she didn't want this contact to be noted. I explained that it would have to be noted. Jan indicated that she understood. I said that did she bring them any chocolate? That might have changed their mind. Just saying. I said that I understand that she wanted to put this all in perspective for us. She indicated that this was correct and said that it's become complicated because they have thrown in all the elements from the past. If you have elements from the past, yeah. I mean, Miss Black Owens said that she presumes that we are focused on the Clayton Eckerd part. Okay. I indicated this is correct, adding that it mainly concerns the court hearings and depositions where Laura was under oath. I added that the judge felt there was some evidence tampering and some perjury. Ms. Black Owens said that as far as she knew, that there was nothing presented to the court that was not truthful. She stated that Laura was pregnant. Let's see. Wait. Okay, surely she means was fake pregnant like months ago, not fake pregnant right then, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was faking another pregnancy. What the fuck do I know? Ms. Black Owens told us that this happened with Clayton because Laura wanted to get into short-term rentals. Well, that night was certainly a short-term rental, wasn't it? Short-term rental of her jawline. What? Okay. Anyways, Laura was interested in seller finance properties and eventually found that Clayton worked for a firm that specialized in that field. She reached out to Clayton, and they seemed to have a connection. Okay. Clayton invited Laura over to his place. Jan said that Laura specifically told Clayton that this wasn't a booty call, which is a weird thing to say to your mother before you leave the house late at night. But all right. And I haven't ragged on him yet, but I intend to because I feel like I've seen this before, but I keep forgetting about it. Earlier when I saw that she had sent him a provocative photo, which was her in like spandex-like material next to a horse. And I just want to be like, is that really what gets it going for you, man? Because if so, I'm not sure we can be friends. But like, I don't even know what to say about that otherwise. I tell Lauren's mom everything about my love life isn't that normal. I mean, that may or may not be true, dude. I don't know. All right, give me 1 second here. short term. Don't do Clayton like that. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it like that, but that's probably what I'm going to say to him later. Okay. Let's see. Miss Black Owens added that Laura had not had sexual relations for a year before that. This was the aftermath of her being attacked in Hoboken. Laura told Clayton that she was not on birth control. Miss Black Owens reported that Clayton told Laura that he just wanted her to come over and cuddle as he was feeling lonely. Okay, I mean, honestly, listen, I'm not judging anyone who ever feels like that because I think we've all kind of been at like points like that in our life, right? But I feel bad for having to read that. Like some of this stuff, it's like, oh, I can make fun of you for this. And some of it's like, if he actually said that, which I don't think that's exactly what happened. I don't. I'm not going to make fun of you for that. You know what I mean? Clayton talked to Laura about having been the Bachelor and that he was portrayed as being a villain on the show because he lied to the girls at the end. And I said this earlier. No, he was portrayed as being a villain on the show because he was way too honest to the girls at the end. Okay. According to Miss Black Owens, Laura told Clayton that she wanted to make it clear that she didn't want to have sex. Again, whatever. Are we still talking about before she left the house? Because what a weird thing to say to your mother before you go over to a man's place. At your big age of mid-30s, what the fuck are you doing? All right, anyways. Laura had been staying in the casita on her parents' property, and she went over and told her mother that she was going over to Clayton's and that she made it clear to him that she didn't want to have sex. Again, why would you tell your mother that? Laura then went to Clayton's home and he offered her a THC gummy and she took it. According to Laura, Clayton was really, really high and yet she felt the need to have sexual activity with him, which is disturbing in and of itself. If somebody's high or intoxicated in some way, you don't have sex with them. That's sexual. You know, let's move on. Laura had told her mother that they were making out, and why would you say that to your mother? Okay, again, okay, that you were making out and one thing leads to another, and that he had his fingers down there. Clayton then asked if he could stick it in for 30 seconds. Laura told him no. Clayton then asked if he could for 25 seconds. She said no. I asked if this was referring to his penis. What the fuck else would it be? Miss Black Owens indicated so. Clayton counted down to 20 and then 15, all of which Laura said no. There's literally no way he did that. It just didn't happen. According to Miss Black Owens, Laura then felt that his penis was inside of her. So first he's dedicated to 5-second increments, right? And then he just stops at 15. He was like, well, you know, I was sure that I would only last 15 seconds, so I guess I won't go down to 10. What? Okay. Anyways, all of a sudden his penis is inside of her somehow, suddenly, without any explanation. Laura told Clayton that she told him no. Clayton then told Laura that she didn't feel the difference. What? That's brutal. Okay. Okay. I asked where they were positioned. Miss Black Owens believed that they were on a So you know every fucking detail down to the number of seconds this man was allegedly saying, this is how long I want to put my penis in you, but you don't know for sure if they were on the couch or not? That's odd. Miss Black Owens said that Laura was really upset about that when she came home the next morning. Okay. Jan stated that it wasn't a violent type of rape thing, considering what she had gone through in Hoboken. That's not how rape works, lady. Rape is rape. YouTube's going to love me for using this language today. One sec. All right. Moving on. Jan said that Clayton and Laura had looked at a couple properties. Laura had an investor lined up. Okay. Laura told Clayton that she wanted to make offers on 2 places, and Clayton agreed to write them up and had Laura sign them, assuming that Clayton would submit them. When Laura asked about the response, Clayton had not submitted one, and she was not sure about the other one. Okay, I think we skipped a couple steps here, Jan. Right? Where she was trying to blackmail him to date her. But okay. Miss Black Owens said that Laura was very upset about that, so she filed a complaint with the Department of Real Estate for that. So again, I just want to go back to this point where she supposedly detailed this encounter to her mother to the extent where she is describing how many seconds he was trying to negotiate that he could have his penis inside of her, but then she accidentally leaves out huge details like that he said he didn't want a serious relationship and that she was trying to force him to have a relationship with her or she wouldn't go through with the real estate deal, right? And she suddenly conveniently leaves those details out when talking to the investigator. But okay, that's actually not the weirdest thing about this interview, but we'll get there. Okay. When Laura asked about the response, Clayton had not submitted one, blah, blah, blah. Jan said that Laura began suffering from morning sickness and was very fatigued, so she took a home pregnancy test. It was positive. Miss Black Owens stated that Laura reported that she wanted to make sure, so she wanted to have it medically done. Laura went to Banner Urgent Care, where it was confirmed. She told Clayton, whose demeanor changed rapidly over the course of days. Initially, Clayton wanted for them to figure out what to do. Laura told Clayton that she really didn't want to have an abortion, but also didn't want to raise a child with a confrontational father. Well, what you could do is you could raise the child without bothering the father who wants nothing to do with you. That's always an option. I mean, sucks, but maybe you find somebody, maybe you don't. It's up to you. If you want to have a kid, have your kid. But the problem is that you were not pregnant. So, all right. Ms. Black Owens reported that over the course of a few weeks, Clayton went from her having the child and raising it to having nothing to do with it to putting it up from adoption. Then it went to him having full custody of the child. She would have nothing to do with it, and he would take the child to his parents' house in Missouri. Ms. Black Owens said that Clayton was flipping back and forth. At one point, Clayton told Laura that his parents thought it was a sign from God. Well, why was he flipping back and forth? Let's talk about that. At one point, Clayton had invited Laura over to his house to talk about it. Laura went, bringing a pregnancy test with her, believing that Clayton would want to see for himself. So she already knows, and I think I said this earlier, she already knows that he's going to ask her to take a pregnancy test. And she knows that because she's acting suspicious as fuck. All right. Let's see. Once there, Clayton told Laura he had a test that he wanted her to take in his presence. Laura did comply and it was positive. So she leaves out, again, a lot of detail there, which is really strange for someone who knows the intimate details of her daughter's sexual encounter. But, okay. Miss Black Owens said that Clayton told Laura that he was glad that she did that and that he now knows she's not a liar. Okay. Miss Black Owens said that Clayton had wanted to speak with her and that he had called and left messages. And so he wanted to speak with Jan. Called and left messages indicating that he wanted to talk to Jan about it. Jan told him that he needed to talk to Laura, not her. Jan said that she did speak with him on the phone and that they spoke for 40 minutes. Jan stated that Clayton admitted to her that he may have had some pre-cum and that's how it happened. My God, they really put this guy through the ringer. She told Clayton that he should have been more of a stand-up guy about this. Jan said that a part of it was not consensual and he was aware of that. Okay, that definitely never happened in that conversation. But go on, Jan. Blame Clayton and then blame Diddy. Jan indicated that she watched some of his show on YouTube and was aware that he was dishonest and that she couldn't believe a word that came out of his mouth. So again, this doesn't track at all because Clayton was more than honest and that was his entire fucking problem. People were like, why would you say that? You know what I mean? Like they got mad at him because he said and did things incorrectly, but he was overly honest in a way that people considered at the time insensitive. Now, I'm not saying that he is exactly how he's portrayed on reality TV. That was kind of insane situation. But at least for this context, the way that he was portrayed on reality TV was like he was way too honest in ways that were not perfect. And that's why he got a lot of backlash. So Jan, go fuck yourself. All right. Jan feels that he wanted to polish his reputation because he was trying to get a spot on Dancing with the Stars. Miss Black Owens stated that this makes sense if you know what happened to Laura in Hoboken. What the fuck does that have to do with what happened to Laura in Hoboken? So, Laura allegedly met some guy named Andrew in Hoboken. And she says that he like violently assaulted and raped her. Right? There's nothing to support that version of events. Nothing to support any of that took place. We don't even really know who an Andrew is. I don't think he's on the witness list or anything like that. But she said according to documents, that's what happened. And so Jan is saying that Clayton wanting to polish his reputation to go on Dancing with the Stars is somehow related to what happened to Laura in New Jersey before they ever met. Sure, Jan. Okay. Jan reported that they moved here from San Francisco in 2021, and Laura had a boyfriend in San Francisco for a couple of years. I asked if this was Mike Maricchini. Jan indicated that it was, and stated that Laura has not had good luck with these guys. That is... Whoa. Leaving some stuff out. Jan told us that Laura dated Mike for about 1.5 years, and for the first 6 months he was fine with her. Then he became more violent sexually, including choking during sex. There was also other violence involved. Miss Black Owens stated that at one point Laura became pregnant with Mike's child. They all went to dinner, and Laura told them that she was pregnant, but it wasn't the right time. What? Okay, whatever. Laura and Mike then went to Planned Parenthood in Walnut Creek, and Laura took abortion pills. Sure. Jan said that at some juncture, Mike had said that Laura had cancer. What? Okay, you know that she said that, right? Jan, you know that, right? Jan Owens reported that Laura never said that Maricchini never said that, and that Maricchini never said that up until now. So she's denying the cancer stuff, even though there's forensically, extracted evidence to the contrary, where she's actually sent messages saying she had cancer. But, like I said, the way that Laura was pretending to have had her ovary removed through her vagina, that is the same way that Jan had her lobotomy and subsequent removal of her brain. It came out through her, with a scope. Anyways, Jan also reported... Wait. I missed a part. Okay. She feels this may have been the work of Mike and Greg. She also reported that Greg had concocted emails that he tried to indicate were from Laura that was not from her. Mike reported in his deposition concerning the protective order hearing that Laura had PCOS. He never said anything about cancer. The cancer allegation came out after Mike and Greg got together, and Mike found 2 emails on his laptop that appeared to be sent from Laura pretending to be a doctor. No, she definitely pretended to be a doctor with multiple people, but okay. And a lawyer and multiple other people. This doesn't even make sense. Let me think about this. Yeah, no. Jan said that Laura only went out with Gillespie for about 2 weeks or so. Gillespie told Laura that he had been hurt in relationships before by girls cheating on him, and then asked for her passwords. I mean, okay. Jesus. Wait a minute. Laura admits that she and Greg only went out on 2 to 3 dates. So, girl, if you're giving out your password to some dude you just met via a dating app, no less, you fucking dumb. That's your problem. According to Jan, Laura provided the passwords to Greg. During the relationship, Greg told Laura that it's easy to doctor a letterhead and stated that he had done it before. So even if that were true, is that how you learn to doctor your ultrasounds? I mean, don't admit that. But it's not true, obviously. So Jan said that Laura had become pregnant by Greg, and he was insistent that she have an abortion, that she take the abortion pill in his presence. Greg indicated to Laura that he would ruin her life if she didn't comply. This must sound fucking insane to the officers or the investigators. Jan reported that Greg put his fingers in Laura's mouth to make sure that she took the pills. Don't think that happened. And I think the text messages between Greg and Laura would indicate that did not happen because she kept trying to see him, but no. So Jan didn't know about Nicholas. Thank you, Paul, for the $2. I would say that Jan probably did know about Nicholas because Nicholas, I think, was plan B. Clayton was plan A. So that's just me. Bruce says, what password are they talking about? Like their home Wi-Fi? That's okay. I mean, maybe it was the home Wi-Fi. Maybe it was her social security number. I don't know. So Jan seems to make things up. But let me see that. Laura was very upset with how that ended, so she filed an abortion coercion suit against Greg. Does Jan know that they can just verify this shit and that her story and Laura's story aren't even adding up on some parts? Laura did not ask for money. She asked for a charitable donation be made to educate people about abortion coercion. Well, thanks. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything if you're blackmailing the guy and he didn't do anything to you. Jan stated that Greg hired an attorney, Greg Woodnick, suggesting they may have worked together previously, and that it's not just an attorney-client relationship. During this suit, Woodnick contacted an attorney, Joe Cotchett, who was friends with Laura's family, and asked him to tell Laura to drop the case. Lady, that is verifiably untrue. That is verifiably untrue. Like, you can see them at, oh my God. You're so fucking dumb. Oh, you deserve the bankruptcy. All right. Jan reported that the attorney had represented Laura in an auto accident case in the past, and the only way that Woodnick would have known about this attorney was through Laura's emails and from Gillespie accessing her emails. She sent him the emails! What the fuck are you talking about, you weirdo? Jan mentioned that Mr. Cotchett had represented her husband in a labor severance suit during the time that Laura dated Gillespie and may have mentioned his name to her. Jan again reported that Laura did not have an attorney at the time. According to Ms. Black Owens, Mr. Woodnick challenged the abortion coercion suit on a constitutional basis. So this thing with Mr. Cotchett, he's on the witness list now, right? So they could ask him about these accusations that, all this shit happened or whatever. But they're going to confront him with those emails. And I guess he would have to verify, no, I didn't fucking send that, right? And then Laura, I guess, I don't know if her attorney will do this or not, would try to at least say, Greg hacked me and he did it. So what is her public defender going to do when she refuses to drop that narrative? Because that's obviously not what happened. These people can forensically verify and pinpoint where emails came from and shit like that. Which device, which location, based on IP address and all that shit. What do you think you're doing? You understand that Laura doesn't just look insane now. So does Jan. Jan is lying to the investigators openly. So, okay. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, I was neglecting my phone. I had to make sure there was nothing important there. Let's see. Jan again reported that Laura did not have an attorney at the time. According to Jan, Mr. Woodnick challenged the abortion coercion suit on a constitutional basis. Jan told us Laura ended her relationship with Greg. Laura ended the relationship, and that's amazing, with Greg in August 2021. And then in February 2022, Laura connected with a guy on Bumble, a dating app. He, Andrew, I guess we have the name now, Andrew Williams, lived in Hoboken, New Jersey, but said that he was going to relocate to Scottsdale. Okay, sure. During their video chats, Andrew suggested that she travel to Hoboken to visit him, knowing that her sister lived in New York City. She probably said, oh, my sister lives in New York and I'm going to visit her. Maybe we can meet up or something. And this guy from Bumble was probably just like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Not knowing at all what he was getting himself into. I sincerely doubt that he told her all this shit. So I asked if Sarah knew Andrew beforehand. Miss Black Owens indicated not. Laura decided to go to Hoboken and see her sister. Jan stated that Andrew was very particular about the time of Laura's arrival and that she takes public transportation instead of an Uber. I don't even know if any of this is remotely true because they're not reliable and I don't know Andrew. So Laura arrived at the door and Andrew answered while on the phone and handed her a drink as prearranged. Laura consumed the drink, felt that she was drugged, and then violently assaulted, according to Jan. Of course, Jan and Laura would say this because every single person that Laura meets allegedly assaults her. It's unbelievable, literally unbelievable. It's not credible. It's stupid. Let's see. Jan feels that this was a targeted attack, which coincided with Mr. Woodnick's ultimatum to drop the suit against Gillespie. Wait, what? Wait, so she's saying that Greg Woodnick had a dude from Bumble who lived in New Jersey, which, by the way, why is Laura trying to match with people in New Jersey? If she's in Scottsdale, but whatever. I mean, that's telling. But she's saying that, what she said, Woodnick, I guess, because of the suit with Gillespie, had Andrew attack her. That's fucking nuts. Miss Jan recounted Laura's description of the evening and her opinion that the attack was live streamed. Well, that's easily verifiable if true. So I told Miss Black Owens that I understand that this is part of the big picture. However, it's outside the purview of what we're investigating. Basically, lady, you sound crazy. Shut the fuck up. That's kind of like when a delusional patient is talking at you for hours and hours. Because I would have people come in who were like, you could tell that they weren't all with it. And like the stuff they were saying was not grounded in reality at all. And like if they were sort of manic, there would be a lot of talking about stuff that was nonsensical. And I kept trying to tell them, like, hey, like I need to stay on topic because I can only ask you questions and consider what happened like today or this week or something like that. So that kind of sounds like to me, the investigators are like, listen, this is out of our scope. Please shut up. Why are you screaming at me to read the next line? I'm not sure, but that's a surefire way to get me to slow down and not read the next line is to scream at me to read the next line. So, all right, let's see. So dumb. I told Miss Black Owens that I understand this is part of the bigger picture, blah, blah, blah. Laura reported that she was afraid and did not wish to name Andrew in a police report. Since when does Laura not want to make a police report? That's the least believable thing in this entire document. Miss Black Owens indicated that the FBI is... I mean, lady, you called the police in different states on random people for reposting shit on TikTok. And now you're like, nah, I don't want to make a police report. Nah. Jan indicated that the FBI is involved in this case and provided further detail of this. Jan told us the assault occurred in March 2022 and that Andrew texted Laura again in November 2022, said that he was in Scottsdale and asked if she wanted to meet. Laura feared that Andrew wanted to finish the job. Good Lord, you fucking weirdo. I mean, jeez. So when they say the FBI is involved, they like send a little message through the FBI tip line or something and be like, here's what's happening. And then they're like talking to other people as if the FBI has launched a full-scale investigation into their weirdo claims. But yeah. We saw it in the body cam of Jan. She goes off her own story. I mean, the wellness check, like with Jan in the footage, especially the one where they don't even go in and check on Laura, and she talks to the officers the way that she does. It always disturbed me. Because I'm like, first of all, your job as officers in that situation is to lay eyes on the person who's potentially in danger. For all they knew, she could have been dead inside. She could have hurt herself and she could be dead inside or dying inside. For all they knew, Jan was, somehow involved in that, but they never bothered to check on her. Instead, they let Jan spew her delusional crap to them, and then they just left. And she was like, have some chocolate on your way out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the nuttiest thing ever. Who's crazier, Jan or Laura? I'm honestly not fucking sure at this point. So, yeah. But those officers, such a disappointment. In any case, what she was saying wasn't true anyways. So, okay. Jan stated that this all comes together at the time of the trial with Greg. Laura was frightened and sent correspondence to the court requesting to appear virtually, indicating that she believed Mr. Woodnick and Gillespie were involved in her attack. So we know that happened. She tried to send an expert email to the judge saying that Greg and his lawyer conspired to have her attacked, which is absolutely fucking stupid. First of all, she wasn't attacked ever. That never happened. I'm comfortable saying that. I'm not worried about it. But also, saying that the lawyer is involved in that is bizarre. So it's one thing to accuse Greg, which wouldn't make any sense at all, right? Because there's really no connection there. And another thing to blame the lawyer. Like, judges are not going to be like, oh yeah, he must be right about that. You know what I mean? Jan reported the court clerk sent this request to Mr. Woodnick also. Yeah, we've seen it. Jan feels that Mr. Woodnick and Gillespie wanted to damage Laura's reputation to make her seem as if she were an unhinged, crazy girl. If she were to testify, all you have to do is look at her messages that she sends. She already is seeming like an unhinged, crazy girl. And she's crazy. Based on everything and what we're seeing now, especially, I maintain that she's not like a delusional, uncontrolled psycho to the point she can't do better if she wanted to, or she doesn't understand the law that she's breaking. But she is absolutely fucking crazy, you know? Not insane, just crazy. After Greg and the attack in Hoboken, Laura met Clayton and became involved in a dispute with him. Good Lord. She said that everyone that involved themselves in this seemed to have their own reasons for wanting to discredit Laura. Yeah, that's probably the most likely scenario. For wanting to discredit Laura, and Clayton wanted to polish his image. Let's see. Jan said that Clayton knows that what happened fits the technical definition of rape. Fuck you, Jan. Cow. Jan continued to suggest that Greg had contrived names of medical providers and fed information to internet content creators. Lady, please. What are you doing? Okay, Laura told her mother that she didn't know any of the medical providers that Mr. Woodnick cited, but she literally said that she did in court. How did Jan think this was going to go? Like, she dumb. Whew. Oh, God. Okay. Laura told her mother she didn't know any of the providers that Mr. Woodnick cited and denied reporting that she went to any of them. Miss Black Owens said that Mr. Woodnick had alleged that Laura took pregnancy hormones along with other similar theories. Laura also told her mother that she did not willingly have sex with Eckerd and that she kept saying no to the end. No to the end? The end of what? The 15 seconds you now allege that he had his... Never mind. God. I told Jan that at this point we weren't disputing the fact that Laura was pregnant. I mean, they have to say that to her, right? I told Jan that Laura did say that she doctored one test where she increased the hormone level. Jan said the document was never submitted as evidence. Yeah, but that makes her credible, right? Okay. My God. Jan said the document was never submitted as evidence. Laura submitted the actual medical record. The doctored record was provided to Dave Neal, a content creator and podcaster. Jan said that Laura was trying to get some type of commitment from Clayton to see what kind of father he would be. No. If a man doesn't want to be with you like that, it doesn't mean he can't be a good father. That's insane. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, this is stupid. Like, there are plenty of single parents out there. You don't have to extort them into a dating contract to find out if they're going to be a good co-parent. Okay. Laura felt they could have joint custody and was concerned that Clayton didn't know what joint custody was. Be so fucking for real. Please. Laura couldn't get anywhere with Clayton, so in July 2023, they hired a law firm to act as an intermediary. Oh boy. Jan spoke about Laura's brain trauma and reported that she had gotten epilepsy due to something that occurred with Maricini, except that she also said it occurred from an Uber accident when she was talking to Mike, so. Involving blunt force trauma, and that Maricini is a person who can't not lie. She believes that Mr. Woodnick and Gillespie reached out to Maricini because they learned that Laura had a case against him. She further believes that Maricini and Gillespie got together and came up with the emails to appear as if they came from doctors in San Francisco, saying that Laura had ovarian cancer. So your two one-night stands they just happen to be master hackers who don't work in that industry at all, by the way. Anything to do with technology or anything like that. But like, they master hackers, and they somehow conspired to send emails to make it look like it came from you that were, verified forensically and were sent a very long time before they even allegedly would have met, right? My God. Mike and Greg got together and came up with emails to appear as if they came from doctors in San Francisco saying Laura had ovarian cancer. This was to make it look like she was doctoring all this stuff. Ms. Black Owens feels that Mr. Woodnick and Gillespie came up with all these items that they indicated were doctored just to make Laura seem as if she were crazy. She feels the crazier they can make Laura seem, it would look better for them if they were ever connected to the Hoboken attack. What? My God. This bitch is going to jail. One sec. Bruce says, Mike, Uber car crash, falling off horses, black ice in San Francisco. How many things gave Laura brain damage? It's worse than the CTE from the NFL. My God. I mean, that's true. Okay, let's see. I told Miss Black Owens that there was a lot said about ultrasounds during the hearings. I asked if Laura ever had an ultrasound concerning Clayton. Jan said she knows that this is a touchy area and did not want to get into that. Jan, you fucking cow. You want to get into everything else. Let me get into that. I'm so tired, guys. She told us that she was aware that Laura said she changed something during her deposition because she didn't want Clayton to know what lab she went to. Jan said that they never submitted any sonogram to the court. And she doesn't believe that Mr. Woodnick ever submitted anything. She understands that Gillespie came up with 1 or 2 sonograms in his case with Laura. Jan said Gillespie submitted sonograms to the court saying that Laura presented them to him. Laura contended at the time that she had taken the abortion pills at 8 weeks prior to the possibility of having a sonogram. So suddenly this bitch knows the timeline of a pregnancy? I don't think so. I said in the Greg suit, the officer said, I said that in the Greg Gillespie suit, Laura said she was pregnant with twins. Jan told us that she never said that she had twins, but Gillespie claimed she did. No, the investigators read the lawsuit. Gillespie claimed that Laura said it was a boy and a girl. Ah! I mean, we have admissions from her attorney, David Gingras, that she has, at least in Clayton's case, admissions that he sent to a random fucking internet stranger because he kept opening his DMs to people online and arguing with them over somebody who was clearly lying, by the way, but sent a DM saying, well, Laura says that she never saw a doctor who told her it was boy-girl twins. It's just she had a feeling. And so she was actually passing it off as if it was boy-girl twins. And she also said there was something wrong with the boy. So she definitely tried to pass it off as if she knew the gender and had ultrasounds. So, I mean, none of this is going to fly at all. I mean, why would Jan do this? This is the stupidest thing you could do, is try to have a secret meeting with investigators and then claim all this stuff that's verifiably untrue. All right. I said that I understood that only one of the fetuses passed because she only took 1 pill. Jan said right. However, Jan said right. However, Laura maintained that she took the pill so early on that she never had a sonogram and didn't know what it was. Again, Jan stated that the Gillespie case was about abortion coercion. It was never about paternity. She said that Mr. Woodnick tried to turn it into a paternity case, and she didn't understand why. Okay. Jan showed us a document from One Medical related to the Gillespie case. The document indicated that the nurse practitioner, Julie Ulrich, was concerned over Gillespie's behavior, and they were afraid of him. Laura was offered resources. Miss Black Owens mentioned that Gillespie saw... Wait. So this person, I believe, is also on the witness list. I think. You guys have to correct me if I'm wrong. Miss Black Owens mentioned that Gillespie said that Laura sent him a sonogram, and there were some emails that were doctored from Laura. She said that they don't know if he actually went into her computer because he had her passwords. God. Laura looked in her sent mail and didn't find it. She thinks that Gillespie either sent them from Laura's email or he doctored them to look like they were from her email. Mind you, these people went through Laura's iCloud account and found like evidence that she was purchasing HCG and injecting herself and shit like that. Okay. She said that as soon as the news came out that Laura was pregnant with Eckerd's child, Gillespie and Mr. Woodnick became involved and then brought Maricini into it. Mr. Woodnick indicated that Maricini had been subpoenaed to Judge Mata's court, but that wasn't true. Like they can have the subpoena. The court can give them a copy of the subpoena. How dumb are you? Jan stated the hearing with Judge Mata was an absolute joke. She didn't know how Judge Mata could conclude the things that she concluded, such as faking the pregnancy and that she took HCG. Well, because Laura did take HCG. In this investigation form here, they note that they, found evidence that she was purchasing HCG from like an emergency weight loss place, no less. An emergency weight loss place, someone who's anorexic to the point she keeps saying that she can't go to court because she's dying. And she's writing blogs online about how she's going to die and it's going to be the fault of people who are talking about her online. An anorexic is injecting HCG from someone who's supposed to help with weight loss. If that's true, if they actually did give her that for that reason, that person should lose their license. Absolutely. And Laura should still go to jail. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Jan said that she saw Laura's stomach get bigger and bigger. She added that Laura took videos and photographs with her naked pregnant belly. She also pointed out that Laura's weight gained to 130 pounds at the end of pregnancy. I indicated that we believed that Laura was pregnant. Okay. I don't think that they, actually meant that, but they have to say these things. It's kind of like they have to say these things in order to get the person to keep talking or something. You know what I mean? Like they're allowed to do that. All right. Ms. Black Owens talked to us about the podcasters and the content creators such as Dave Neal and how they were affecting Laura throughout, and that Laura tried to get a restraining order against him. Yeah, you can't get a restraining order against someone for commenting on a public court case involving a public figure who was The Bachelor, no less. And he was a Bachelor, Nation content creator at the time. He's branched out a lot since then, but you can't get a restraining order against someone for exercising their right to have an opinion on that thing and express their opinion on that thing, especially when he didn't even use her name. He wasn't bothering her. If she reached out and emailed him, that's one thing, and he responded, that's one thing. There's nothing wrong with that, but she was the one harassing him, sending him fake documents and shit like that, and then trying to call the police on him and all that. I don't even know if call the police, but you know what I mean? Submit documents to a court and be like, you need to punish him for this. No, you're a psycho. Okay. Once Laura had confirmation that she was no longer pregnant, she understood that the suit was on the dismissal calendar. At the time, Eckerd had an order preventing Laura from contacting him. Thank fuck for small miracles. Eckerd reported that Laura had sent him 500 emails. Jan stated that this was a lie, that Laura never sent him 500 emails. At this point, the case was on the dismissal calendar. Laura knew she had the miscarriage, and it was verified that she was no longer pregnant, so she thought it was over. At that point, Mr. Woodnick kept the situation going, doing all he can to make Laura seem unhinged. So all he has to do to make Laura seem unhinged is show you the things that Laura says and does, but okay. Jan talked about the success of their podcast, the Nobody Told Me show, which wasn't producing any new episodes, by the way, just reruns, and how the Justice for Clayton cult has gone after all of their guests and sponsors. They have also tried to ruin their horse business. Ms. Black Owens alleged that Mr. Woodnick is after Laura and has gone to lengths such as to lie in his filings and statements, and that he is trying to rehash the Gillespie case, which he lost. Okay, the things in these court documents, they're supported by documented evidence. I don't know what she thinks she's going to accomplish with this interview. Jan said that if you don't know what happened in Hoboken, we're going back to Hoboken now, this seems bizarre, and it seems that Laura is a crazy person. Jan. You're a cow. All right. Detective Gonzalez asked if there was ever a connection made between the guy in Hoboken and Greg Gillespie or Mr. Woodnick. Jan said, not that she knows of. Jan continued to provide her opinion of Mr. Woodnick and wondered why he was so focused on Laura and discrediting her. Give me one sec. Oh my god, this is exhausting. Just reading this. Jan said she has been with Laura through all these cases, and there is no question in her mind that all these things happened. I stated, okay, the question in your mind should have been when Laura was using your other daughter's ultrasound photos and videos of your other daughter's pregnancy and your husband touching her pregnant belly while you sat there and talked to Laura in the background of the same video. That should have indicated to you that Laura was not pregnant. So, are you also a criminal, or are you just a stupid cow? I really can't tell at this point. Good Lord. Jan says she knows the document that she sent to Dave Neal altered HCG test, and that Laura said she shouldn't have done it. No shit. Jan stated that Laura never changed any of the evidence in court. She literally did, though. Like, in her deposition, she admitted to that. So that's stupid. Jan spoke of death threats that she had received and some additional theories. They couldn't even write all this out, guys. All they could do is like say additional theories connecting this to the Gilgo Beach murders in New York or the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking case. Jan, oh my god. Okay, you guys know that, like, you guys know nice try Diddy, like that's a meme, right? The nice try Diddy stuff, that's a meme. It's a meme online. But Jan is going to investigators ahead of her daughter's potential criminal case and is trying to actually do the nice try Diddy, but like with a straight face. Oh my god. Jan feels this may be part of a bigger picture and agreed the FBI may be looking into it. Yeah, guys, I'm sure the FBI or anyone investigating the Diddy case was fishing around to find out if Laura Owens was really pregnant or not. I concede. All right. She also said that at one point, Greg Woodnick indicated that Laura stated that he and Gillespie raped her. Jan reported that Laura never said anything about the details of it. She just said that they may have been involved in some fashion. She continued by telling us that in another proceeding, Mr. Woodnick indicated that Laura alleged that he and Gillespie coordinated the attack in Hoboken. Jan told us that she wanted us to know there was nothing presented in court that wasn't 100% true. How about, I saw Dr. Higley last Friday, and I went to Planned Parenthood Mission Viejo. Jan. She continued by telling us that the things that Mr. Woodnick presented were medical records from places that had no records for Laura, but he didn't present records from legitimate ones, because there aren't any! I told her that we do have records from the legitimate offices. Ms. Black Owens asked how long this investigation would take. I said that I hoped it wouldn't take too much longer. Detective Gonzalez asked about Laura's computer, if she still has the one that she had when Gillespie had her password. Jan said she was under the belief that Laura had gotten a new computer and she had been telling her to change your passwords. Jan then told us about an incident that Laura reported to her. Laura told her mother that she was with Gillespie in a car. When they pulled up in front of a house, a subject was standing in front of a house and contacted them. Gillespie told Laura that he was in the real estate business and that she should give him her phone number so he could put his contact information in it. Laura told her mother that she didn't know what the guy did with her phone, but he was monkeying with it for a little while. According to Ms. Black Owens, Laura thought he may have done something with the phone. Ms. Black Owens said that she wanted us to know there was nothing that was presented in court that wasn't 100% truthful. Okay, I mean, I think I already read that, but I told Ms. Black Owens that if Laura and Mr. Gingras want to talk to us, we would be happy to speak with him together. Ms. Black Owens told us that Mr. Gingras has said that this was not his area of expertise in the law. No, but you were her attorney for one of the cases where she's alleging that one of these lawyers lied about stuff and that everything that was presented in court was 100% true. So all of a sudden, you're not 100% Team Laura when your ass is on the line? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? He's all in on his blogs, but not when it comes to an investigation. It's almost as if he knows she's full of shit. Which is what I keep saying. The reason he doesn't read stuff like this and comment on it is because he would have to admit what a dumb fucking cow he's been. I don't care if you guys like cows. I like cows too, but they're still dumb, okay? Sorry, I'm getting a lot of comments about cows. Sorry. Also, Mr. Gingras has said this was not his area of expertise in the law. I mean, neither is family law, right? Is it? Is family law really his area of expertise? I mean, it doesn't seem like it. Miss Black Owens told us she didn't want Laura to know that she spoke with us because Mr. Gingras said to let the investigators do their work. There was no further information. This contact concluded. No chance that Laura didn't know about this, by the way. I mean, David may not have known about it, but Laura definitely did. Okay. I'm not going to read this one tonight. Yeah, I might just cut it for tonight because I'm going to come back this weekend. Okay, so they talked to Greg as well. How long is this? Oh my god. Okay. What? No, tell me this isn't the rest of the document. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding. Yeah, there's no way, guys. There's no way I finish this thing. Holy shit. Okay, hang on. Well, here's an email she sent to one of Greg's coworkers, I guess. Hi, I filed a civil lawsuit against a salesman at your Scottsdale location, Greg Gillespie, and wondered if I could confidentially confirm the dates that he was out on COVID leave? You're a psychopath. Oh my god. What is wrong with you? Okay. Hi, I know one of your salesmen. I filed a lawsuit. I want to know if you could tell me when he was out on COVID leave. The illness is unrelated to my case, but my father is going for radiation for cancer right now and is having COVID symptoms. You're such a cunt. Oh my god. I'm helping to care for him and wondered if I may have been asymptomatic after... She's stalking him and trying to use a sick father as an excuse to get his locations? Oh my god. I'm helping to care for him and wondered if I may have been asymptomatic after being in close contact with him and then transmitted it into my dad. I would really appreciate your not involving him, and if I could just have help in tracing back how he had been exposed. I think it had to be through me, although at this point I'm testing negative. Thanks, Laura. Whoa. That's nuts. Oh, that's nuts. It doesn't matter how your father got COVID at that point. If he has COVID, leave the guy you're stalking alone. Jesus. Throughout this investigation, it was discovered Laura claimed to have visited multiple medical offices. The following medical offices were served subpoenas to obtain medical records related to Laura's alleged pregnancy. Sonoran Quest Labs, okay. She had an HCG test. She got a result of 102. She manipulated it to show 131,000, which she sent to Dave Neal. SMIL. Okay. They provided multiple medical records indicating Laura used their services. However, none of the medical records provided are related to this investigation. Okay. Laura did use an ultrasound image that shows the name SMIL to prove to Clayton she was pregnant, but she admitted she changed the name of the facility, the date, and her name on the ultrasound. Let's see. Banner Health. We know all about Banner Health, right? Laura participated in a urine pregnancy test. The medical record indicates a pregnancy control line of plus with a clear background, so it was positive. It's positive for HCG, which we know she was injecting herself with. Okay. Laura was given instructions for taking care of yourself in early pregnancy and was also prescribed a prenatal multivitamin to be taken once a day during the first trimester. Okay. Family Planning Associates. No records were found. Okay. Scottsdale Perinatal Associates. No medical records were found. The office did provide multiple pages of correspondence. She scheduled 4 appointments, rescheduled 3 times, and then canceled. She was never seen by anyone. Planned Parenthood Los Angeles. No records were found for Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson. Honor Health. Let's see. Laura used their services, but none of the records are related to the investigation. Suddenly Slimmer Med Spa. No records were found for Laura Owens. Women's Care of Phoenix. Laura Owens made an appointment to see Dr. Higley. The appointment never took place because it was canceled. Vita Bella Med Spa and weight loss. And then there is a response, but it's blacked out. It's redacted. Greg told me it was around July 18th. Laura claimed to be pregnant with his child when she sent him a picture of a positive pregnancy test. No other messages in Laura's iCloud have been found from 2021 related to HCG. Vita Bella Med Spa and Weight Loss Center did not have any records pertaining to Laura. Doug, an employee at the center, told us the phone number rings to their offices, but the cell phone it's associated with does not get used, so no text messages are responded to. Anova Med Spa. Okay. Let's see. It's redacted here. The facility the ultrasound was taken at, the date the ultrasound was taken. Laura claims she went to a Planned Parenthood in Costa Mesa and used an AKA, like a fake ID, fake name, because she did not want Clayton to find out. Through the course of the legal proceedings leading up to the evidentiary hearing, Clayton's legal team was able to request medical records, okay, from all these Planned Parenthoods in Orange County, San Bernardino. No record was found. Okay. LA also nothing was found. Mom Doc, okay, they did have records there, but participated in doctor's appointments. She had a positive pregnancy test, the HCG test. She stated she did not have subsequent care and started bleeding a few weeks after the ultrasound. What ultrasound? Laura reported she passed 2 sacs, which appeared to have a membrane, but denied having much bleeding. She continued to take hormone pregnancy tests to assess if she was still pregnant in order to test from any labs now, which showed a low level of HCG. She came to Mom Doc to find out if she was still pregnant. So then why did you go to any labs now? If you thought you passed 2 sacs, why did you go to any lab now instead of going to the emergency room or to a doctor? Okay. Dignity Health. Let's see. She had telemedicine visit with Dr. Zeman. Let's see. Says since Laura contacted her office to report she recently found out she was pregnant, so she self-reported pregnancy and other medical conditions a lot of the time. I encouraged her to continue lamotrigine and start folic acid. Okay. It's on 11/29/25. Let's see. She said she lost the pregnancy after 21 weeks pregnant. Wait. Okay, so on 10/11/2023, Laura Owens participated in blah, 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 saying she was still pregnant at 21 weeks with twins. Then on 11/29/2025, I think they mean 2023. I think they mean 11/29/2023. Laura Owens participated in a telemedicine visit. Okay, at that time, she reported she was 21 weeks pregnant. Today, she reports she lost her pregnancy. Her OBGYN, aka a text hotline, thinks it was a chromosome thing. She passed 2 things that looked like fetuses. So I guess they interviewed one medical employee, Lisa Daniels. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through. There's a second interview with Clayton. I'm going to have to go through the rest of this later because it's already 6:45. But yeah, this is also hysterically funny and gross and wild. Yeah, it totally is. All right, so we've been going for an hour now, and don't tell Dave we have more than 1 star witness. Yeah, right. We've been going for an hour now, and like I said, I have a couple more streams tonight, so I gotta take off. I'll be back with Omar, I think, at midnight, and I'll be on Colonel Kurtz. If you guys know her, I think it's 7:30. I'm gonna see if I can push it a little bit later so I could sleep some. Because if not, I'm going to take a nap after, but okay. In an email it read from Laura to Gillespie, I would be willing to file for dismissal only if you're having a mental breakdown from stress and now intend to be who you said you'd be. What the fuck? Oh my god. No, I'm gonna read those separately in a different different video tomorrow or something. Because that's too much. It's so much for one night. This lady's bonkers. Anyways. Good night, everyone. Don't be a stupid cow like Jan.